The top 10 most luxurious private jets. In the Bible, King Solomon, the wisest king that ever lived on planet Earth, said that everything was vanities after vanities. It is all a bubble that bursts. But let's talk about the luxurious vanity of having a jet. At number 10, we have the Airbus A380. The A380 is a modern icon that has flown over 500,000 in revenue flights, carrying over 190 million passengers. Did you hear that right? This includes more than 300 commercial flights per day, baby, which take overland around the world every 2 minutes. Flying with the A380 is a unique experience that introduces passengers to new standards, often flight comfort, from first class to economy, my friends. As the world's largest and most spacious passenger aircraft, its cabin allows travelers to stretch out in the widest seats in a calm and relaxing environment. And get this last part. Now, with the unparalleled freedom that it has, it gives the passengers the liberty to move around in the aircraft. It's no surprise that the A380 is a favorite for the cabin classes. This plane is owned by a prince, and his name is Al-Walid bin Talal. And what about the price? $500 million. At number 9, we have the Airbus A340-300. The A340-300 was planned to be an immediate contender to Boeing and McDonnell Douglas, both of whom were crazy about settling airplane producing monsters. The Airbus A340-300 entered administration in 1993, my friends, with Lufthansa being an essential client of the airplane. If you guys know who that is, Google that person up. During its creation, run crossing 1991 to 2011, the Airbus A340-300 was assembled and utilized via carriers offering long-stretch assistance all throughout the planet. In 2008, the Airbus A340 worked by Singapore carriers made a whole world record, my friends, with a direct departure from Newark, New Jersey, about an hour and a half away from where I live in New York, Newark, New Jersey to Singapore, a distance of in excess of 8,200 miles. And check this last part out. The A340-300 has seating for a limit of 440 travelers, my friends, in a high-thickness arrangement. In any case, the launch ordinarily arrives in a 3-class design of 295 seats, or a 2-class arrangement of 335 seats. 335 seats, you heard it right. The large design accompanies a 4 side-by-side seating in top-notch, baby, a 6 side-by-side seating in business class, and an 8 side-by-side seating in economy. The airplane is likewise furnished with 9 completely encased toilets, oh my goodness, and 7 galleys for food readiness. Now, who's the owner? Alisher Usmanov. And the price, you ask? 350 to 500 million. That's what has been estimated right now. At number 8, we have the Boeing 747-430 is the code, and one of Boeing's best-selling models, the 747-8, is one of the longest and largest aircraft ever built, my dear friends. It has an impressive range of 9,200 nm and can reach a maximum speed of 645 miles per hour. Sorry, NASCAR. Though the commercial version of this plane has more than 400 seats available, there is the possibility of purchasing the aircraft as a private jet. Who could have that type of money? How much, you ask? $367 million for the unfurbished interior, that is. One anonymous buyer, that it cannot be disclosed, bought a 747-8, and he spent an extra $200 million to transform this aircraft He added living rooms, bathrooms, a master suite, and a dining room for 14 people. The guy wanted half of his family in there. The jet is so impressive that the U.S. Air Force chose Boeing 747-8s for the presidential planes Air Force One and Air Force Two, baby. Now, who is it owned by, you ask? Sultan of Brunei, the Sultan of Brunei. And the price, you're asking again, $233 million. At number 7, we have the Gulfstream G650 ER. There's no doubt that this is one that will get you just about anywhere. With a seating capacity of up to 19 people, you can travel as many as 7,560 nautical miles. That means NM, by the way. 14,000 kilometers with ease. The cabin tends to be a little longer and higher than you may expect for a jet of this size. That helps to make it all the more comfortable. If you're buying, well, the options for layouts are pretty impressive. It's possible to include customized seating, areas for sleeping and eating, and even the latest in audio and video equipment for business or personal use, my friends. There's also plenty of luggage capacity if you're planning a long holiday or will remain abroad for business for some time. You never know, right? Now, who owns this one? Oh, goody goodness. The big old Bill Gates. Which price, you're asking? $65 million. $65 million. At number 6, we've got the Dassault Falcon 8X. The 14-seat business jet will be conveyed to the holding in Little Stone, Arkansas in late October, just for exhibition, yeah? With a standard cost of $58 million, the tri-jet bird of prey 8X has a length of 24.4 meters and 26.9 meters of wingspan. Did you catch that, you little nerds? It's anything but a scope of 11,945 kilometers, which implies that it can straightforwardly fly relentless from Istanbul to a few objections in the further west of the US. The flight can take off from a 1,792 meter runway. It's been tested, baby, with 33,113 kilograms of drop weight. You nerds are having a blast, are you not? And moves up to 51,000 feet. That implies there is an OK of disturbance and no business planes cruising at that height. Its lodge is 3.5 feet longer than the 7X and up to 35% more eco-friendly than its rivals, than its competitors, that is, because of further developed wing plan. These guys thought about everything. The business stream can likewise stop inside a 680 meter distance after its arrival. The plane is owned by Turkish conglomerate Koch Group. It's a big group, fellas. And the price you're asking? $58 million. At number 5, we got the ACJ350 XWB. And all these letters and symbols and numbers, they have meanings. The ACJ350 XWB is the latest addition to Airbus corporate jets, my dear friends. It's a collection of wide-bodied aircraft with capacity for 25 VIP passengers. It features a range of 1,100 nm nautical miles, remember that? Or over 22 hours of non-stop flying. The ACJ350 XWB is also one of the most expensive private jets in the world, with a starting price of around $317 million. That's a little way over my pay grade. The XWB in its title stands for extra wide body. This extra space within the cabin allows for something, and it allows for the aircraft to deliver more comfort and flexibility with the choice of internal spaces. Talk about vanities after vanities. What's more, Airbus has designed the fuselage with next generation carbon composite materials to adapt to the challenge of working with a new material. The ACJ350 XWB comes with easy fit cabin outfitting and has worked extensively with cabin outfitters to ensure the private jet is fully customizable and that customers can design their aircraft to fit their needs. Now, currently, it is approved outfitters for ACJ350 XWB. Can you say that name like I did? It also includes an AMAC Aerospace, Jet Aviation, and Lufthansa Technik. If you don't know what that means, you have to Google that. This plane is owned by ACJ, a family of VIP wide bodies. And the price, you ask? $317 million. At number 4, we do have the Boeing, again another Boeing 767-33A ER. The Boeing 767 is a low-wing twin-engine long-range jet aircraft which was Boeing's first wide-body twin-fly. This was Boeing's first new model after the presentation of the Boeing 747 and was intended to assume control over the market that was overhauled by the pioneers of Boeing 707 and Douglas DC-8. Through its lifetime, the 767 additionally occupied the space avoided over by the staging with regard to the Lockheed L1011 TriStar. Look at that one. Just as the McDonnell's Douglas DC-10. The Boeing 767 was created in corresponding with the Boeing 757, where the Boeing 767 was a wide-body airplane, at this point not as wide as the Boeing 747, with a standard economy design of 7 side-by-side instead of the 747's 10 side-by-side. The 757 was a thin body, similar as the Boeing 707. There's a lot of 7s and there's a lot of Boeings in here, with 6 by side. Now the 767 and the 757 shared a large part of a similar plan and innovation, which was a tremendous putting something aside for Boeing. Now this is good and all, but who is this plane owned by? And this is the good old famous Roman Abramovich. Price $170 million. At number 3, the Boeing 747-8. Again, we go with the 7s. Get ready. The Boeing 747-8 is a wide-body airliner developed by Boeing Commercial Airplanes, the largest variant of the 747. After introducing the 747-400, Boeing considered larger 747 versions as alternatives to Airbus A380. The stretch 747 Advance was launched as the 747-8 on November 14 of 2005. Now these are very important facts, check them out. It was done in November 14, 2005 for a market forecast of 300 aircraft. The first 747-8F freighter performed its maiden flight on February 8, 2010, and the passenger 747-8I Intercontinental. The cargo version was first delivered in October 2011 and the airliner began commercial service in June 2012. Good old facts, but this plane anyways is owned by Joseph Lowes. And the price, you ask? $367 million. At number 2 and number 1, we have the one and only Boeing BBJ MAX 7. We could not find number 2 and we cannot find number 1, so we decided to make this one number 1 and number 2. Anyone considering going large on a private jet will probably have contemplated the MAX 7 from Boeing's business jets, BBJ. That does not mean Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The more economical and eco-friendly version of the original. Deliveries began at the beginning of 2019. Now check this out. With a further 20 orders on file for the ultra long range, narrow-bodied aircraft, the impressive size of the MAX 7 enables it to be configured in a variety of ways. The 2.7 meter model by design firm Alberto Pinto included a 6-seat dining table. Here we go. A master bedroom with queen-size bed, nightstands, and dressing table, and a 2-person shower with teak floorboards. There are also 5 and 7 seat lounges. Interest in private aircraft like the MAX 7, which has Dubai to New York range, has increased hugely in recent years, particularly from Far Eastern buyers. And of course, who is this plane owned by? Well, that one is unknown. We don't know if he's a hacker, or a president, or a politician, or a narco. But we cannot disclose who it's owned. What we do know is that it's 100 million. If you have received value in this video, I believe you know what to do. I do not need to ask you. I thank you for your time, and I thank you for listening. If you have received value, thanks again.